Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Leslie. If you haven't been here before, you wandered across my little corner of the internet. What are we looking at today? Well, I had some fun with my laser cutter. I had an order for a chart from a teacher, and you will see that. Um, I have a granddaughter who is right at the age where Pokemon is just, cool. And so Pokapia, P, the new Switch game for Pokemon, is very cool. And so we made some Pokemon chains, keychains that can hang on her bag. And I have a grandson who is at the age where animals are cool. He's two, in between 2 and 3, and he just loves little animals. So I made some uh, keychains that can hang on his bag. But there are many uses for those, and I will explain when we get to them. First, however, a bit of a cautionary tale. So let's go down, excuse me, to the desktop here. And what is this, you ask? Well, this would be the fan out of my M1 Ultra laser cutter. Oh my God, you say. I know, that's what I said. So, what is the story? Well, I cleaned and I poked and I prodded and I cleaned some more. And still, I kept getting this warning that there was a blockage. Well, guys, I watched the videos on the YouTube rabbit hole, and finally, somebody said, "Take this out. You'll be surprised." I took a deep breath, and it was easy. It took me maybe 5 minutes. It's going to be easy to put back in, and I was shocked. This is the little fan in the back of the machine, the little exhaust fan. It is attached to a big filter, which draws air also. And I have air assist. So all of that gets put, all of the air and the smoke and everything gets pushed to the back to this little exhaust fan. And I thought if I just took my little blower and blew it out, took the vacuum, the fan was whirling, that I had cleaned it. And then somebody said, "Oh, no, no, dear, take it out." So this is my cautionary tale. Take it out and clean it, guys. Make it part of your daily maintenance. It wasn't hard. It's not hard to put back in, and it will last a lot longer. Like, look in there. So how am I going to clean it? I'm actually going to take it upstairs, and I'm going to use my husband's air gun, and I am going to clean this sucker. If I have to use a toothbrush to get all these little teeth that you see in there, I will do so. But I'm going to give it a very good clean. As soon as I took it out, and I should have taken it out when I hooked up my air purifier. I did not know that. But as soon as I took it out, the blockage message left. So if you are using this fan and you're venting out a window, be sure to clean it. Clean it, clean it, clean it, guys. If you're getting an error that says that there is a blockage and your hose is clear, clean it, clean it, clean it. It should not be in and connected when you're using the air purifier that attaches to the Xtool, to the M1 Ultra. So that was my own fault. I have taken it out now, and my machine runs like a charm. Okay, so be sure either way that you're cleaning this very, very well. Make it part of your monthly maintenance. Your machine will last forever. Now, moving on from there, we are going to take a look at what I made. So, teacher request was this chart: fractions, decimals, millimeters. Okay. And I made quite a few of them for her so that her students can, use them. And if they're having real difficulty, take them home to do their math for the evening and bring them back to school. Or even copy them into a notepad or whatever, right? However, it's going to work out. But I think this is awesome. However, at this point, it's just bare wood and I want to seal it. So I am going to seal it with some Varathane that also has, what is this one? Golden oak stain in it. Okay. Now, if you don't want to stain yours, your alternative, of course, is the polyacrylic sealer or the crayon spray-on sealer. This can is well used and well loved. Either of those will also work, but this will add a bit of a stain. Okay, so let's do that up. Nice and quick. It was easy to do. I found it in the Xtool community. It was already pre-made, which was nice. I didn't have to design one. I could, but I didn't have to. So that made it even better. Don't do what I'm doing and use your scissors. By the way, these scissors are so old that I don't care. Give me 1 second to grab a screwdriver and I'll be right back. Okay, so I will let you know right now that it does have a bit of an odor. So you want good ventilation. I have my windows all open, so I'll be fine. And I just use an old paintbrush that is no longer viable for painting with to stir it up. And we'll get started. Whoops. It doesn't take long to do. And you want to follow the grain, okay? And this is me, I'm going to be honest, being kind of lazy because she wanted it stained and sealed. And I could have done a nice stain, added a seal on top, but that's a wait for the stain to dry, then add the seal, then wait for that to dry. Why do all that when I can do it in one step, right? When you're a busy crafter, those minutes, seconds even, count. So you want to get it down to the fewest possible steps and still be happy with the results. And I'll be honest with you, when I am done, I will probably end up cutting one of these for my granddaughter and one of these for me. And my husband would like one for the garage. So, we're making good use out of the machine. Now I'm just going to dry it a little bit. Just a little so that I can hold it enough without fingerprints on it. And there we go. It is stained, it is sealed. And yes, once it is totally dry, I will do the same to the back and the edges so that I know it's got a good seal. Now, I did mention that I did others, and they are all done by the same method. They are the cut, they are the score, and they are the engrave. So, and then to these ones, which are the Pokemon, I added these cute little tassels. I got a whole bunch of tassels and a whole bunch of rings, which should be, there they are. They're floating around in there on Amazon. That's what I did. And so now we have these that can hang on her school bag. So here we have done the stain and seal. Here she is going to paint them to match the ones in her game. And then we will seal them with this clear polyacrylic. So I'm just going to lay this on here because I will be going back to it to do the back of that. And I am going to pull out these ones. And these are the little animals that I mentioned. Aren't they cute? And I'll tell you. Okay, so this main part where you see the outline and all the design in the middle, let's pick one that's a bit easier. There we go. This is my favorite. Is one. And then the cut line with the little circle at the top is like a shadow. So you take the shadow away and you end up with just the little creature. You put a cut line around it. You're good to go. You know what these are good for, guys? You shrink them and they become earrings. You take the, or you make them a bit bigger and they become banner pieces. You take the shadow off, just do the outline as a cut, leaving all the stuff in the middle, and enlarge, and you have wall decor. And that will work with anything. We will be turning these probably into earrings in the near future. Okay, so for these, I am just going to do clear acrylic because she changes out the bag that she uses for carrying his toys and his snacks and stuff quite regularly. So I want something. Oh, gotta clean the rim of this, huh, guys? I want something that will match them all. By the way, this brush will clean up with a bit of soap and water. There we go. Now this one too has a bit of an odor. Sometimes I will do this outside, especially if I'm using the spray. I will make sure to go outside with it. Now, we can do it this way, which is my preferred method. And you can see that he's wet. Or, whoops, there's a little bubble there. You can dip. And I have dipped. Dipping works for me because I hang it afterwards to allow all the excess to run off, because that is the thing about dipping into these stains or polyacrylics or whatnot, you're going to end up with a lot of excess, which unfortunately can lead to a lot of bubbling. Now, this wood is just plain simple basswood. And as you can see, it did a lovely job. And it's lightweight, which makes it great for doing your earrings. Okay. I choose to do wooden earrings because unfortunately one of the drawbacks of having the M1 Ultra is that it is a diode laser, and therefore it has a love-hate relationship with acrylic, and it can be very, very touchy. And I've found that the acrylic, even if it cuts it okay, and I'm just saying okay because that's basically what it is, it cuts it okay, I find that it breaks easily. I don't know why. I guess because you have to use, very thin acrylic. But you definitely have to use black because with a diode laser, it's a light and it will go right through clear and it won't do anything. So my advice is, if your whole crafting business is based on acrylic, upgrade your machine to something with a laser, infrared, or not an infrared. That's not the word I'm looking for. This is a CO2 laser. Cuts acrylic like butter. But these are the projects that we tackled this week. So here we go. These will be painted with acrylic paint and then sealed with polyacrylic or with the spray. And then this one here, I should be able to, yes. I'm going to do the back right now. Was just done with stain that already has polyacrylic sealer in it. Kind of like a one-step wonder, which I really, really like. Where did I get them? I'm in Canada, so I went to Canadian Tire. Okay. I live in a very small town. Well, I live in a smaller town, and so selection is limited as to where to get these things, but Canadian Tire, thank goodness, had them, so I didn't have to worry. I am just going to grab, if anybody was wondering what those are, they're puppy pipettes. They are cheap, cheap, cheap. And best of all, disposable. So I just go ahead and use them for things like this. The reason I did this is because some of this will rub off onto my creation, and I don't want that, of course. So I'm going to use that brush. And where did my mixing up brush go? What else have I done this week? Well, I got a new 3D cutter, 3D printer, sorry. I got the Cobra X. So we'll be seeing that working soon. I got some Happy Mail, which will be the next video. I did a whole bunch of cleanup. And being the cool nanny, or as my 1-year-old grandson says, nanner that I am, I have played way too many hours of Pokapia. We tend to sit together and she plays and I give directions and read the words that she doesn't know yet. And so by giving directions, I mean that I watch YouTube videos and tell her how the people are doing it. So that has been part of my adventure this week. And in fact, she appealed to Papa's soft side this morning and is going to be picked up from school so that she is home nice and quick to start the weekend with her game. So she's quite excited. Now, what I'm going to do here is I am going to run my finger along there, wipe those away. Where they got on the board. And I am just going to lay it like that. And I'm going to leave it alone now, guys. It is totally, and completely sealed. Like I said, this is golden oak on basswood. And let me turn it over. That is how it looks. You can still read through the stain perfectly. And I didn't think about that. There we go. So all done. Turn that over, let it sit. How long did these take? I cut the board and the little animals, the 3 animals. This one, this one, and this one. Cut, engraved, scored. It took about now keep in mind I have a 10 watt, not a 20. So it took approximately an hour. It was a bit more, but not much. And then I did the Pokemon cut, score, engrave. And there was how many of those? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And they took approximately a half hour. So not long at all. Nothing to complain about there. Just let me clean this up a bit so that I can lay the projects out for you to see. Love, love, love that I can just do that. There we go. Move this out of the way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Okay, those are the Pokemon. Then we have our fraction board. And fraction decimal millimeters. And then we have our little baby animals. All of the animals And the Pokemon that you see here can be shrunk down for earrings, enlarged all the way up for wall decor, enlarged maybe double the size for making banners for birthdays, if your theme is the zoo or whatever. So many uses out of one style of cut. We did these with the polycrylic, and we did this with the Varathane polycrylic one step. Whoops. And that, guys, is that. We have had some laser fun. We have some laser work to clean up the fan. And I have the ink module on the way. So we'll be able to use the knife and do some print and cuts and stuff. I'm hoping to get the camera set up in there so I can actually record some of this happening. Hoping to get that done this week. I'm waiting on a longer cord. I'm not sure what the cord is called, but a longer cord to run from the camera on the ceiling down to my computer. I'm just using a normal desktop camera, but I'm going to use some Velcro on the metal cross beams on the ceiling and Velcro the camera up there and see if we can get a good look inside the laser when I'm doing stuff. We'll see how that goes. I'm just waiting for it to come in. So other than that, guys, I'm going to go and take these upstairs or clean this up. Take these upstairs while the rest of this finishes drying. And I am going to make a few quarts of spaghetti sauce because I have run out of homemade spaghetti sauce at last. So we're going to do that today. I hope you get to do something you enjoy. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye.